This is a video for all of the owners of Greg, Cooley, Optimist. Guys, we took Greg down to a horse trial down in Maryland. It's a place called MCTA, or Shawan Downs, I think they call it. It's a good little event. It's a low-key event. Unfortunately, they had a monsoon of rain the night before the competition. There was about 2 inches of rain, and poor old Greg sort of had to battle through the whole competition in quite deep holding ground. It was saying that he actually had the best footing of the day. He was the first or second horse to go in the dressage, and we did a good test. We had one blip. We had one big mistake, which you'll see in a moment. He sort of misunderstood my aids to do the leg yield in trot, and I think he popped into canter from memory. We scored a 31, which is pretty good. Without the blip in our trot work at the end, obviously it would have been in the 20s. Greg's hard, in these small rings, I'd have to say. At home in the bigger ring, where you can sort of get him going a little bit more forward, and it sort of gives him a tiny bit more energy. He's just a little bit easier to keep round and over the back. He's got such a big stride in these smaller 20 by 40 dressage arenas. Feel like you're sort of, before you know it, you're at the end of the ring and you're turning and you're slowing down. And Greg's a big mover, and he's got a big canter stride, and it sometimes is hard to package him together. Greg's been working away. I feel like we've been trying to work a little bit away at his fitness. At the last event at Waradaka, I felt like he was struggling a little bit in his galloping, fitness and speed. We've got a track here which you guys will see when you come next week, and I've been sort of putting him up there once or twice a week, trying to get a little bit more speed onto him and also build up his endurance, his fitness, his stamina. Sometimes, anyway, we haven't had him for very long, but he feel like he's got to get a little bit, have a little bit more endurance and stamina in the way he goes cross country. From memory, I believe this is our little mix up here. I think he might have got stuck in the mud a bit, and then as we started leg yielding, he unfortunately thought I wanted left leg canter. In Greg's defence, it's a similar aid, if you know what I mean, like your left leg's pushing right and left flexion, and unfortunately, I don't think he was being bad. I think he misunderstood leg yield right to canter left, which is a shame actually, because it would have been good to get him in the 20s. Last week we took him up to Soggaty's up in New York, and I met up with Peter up there, and we jumped him in just one class actually. Peter jumped him in the metre 10, I believe, metre 10, and he jumped a fantastic round. He's a good show jumper. He jumps with great scope and good technique, and so he went to a jumping show on Thursday, and then this event was on the Saturday, and obviously the jumping show that we did at Soggaty's, I felt like it really actually put him in a good place to perform well at the open prelim show jumping here at MCTA. Great thing with Greg, he's got a really good back end. When you sort of watch him jump, he's quite free with his hind end and his hind legs. Funny enough, that jump that we just jumped, the plank underneath it blew down halfway through my course, so I came to that jump and half the jump was on the ground. What you can't appreciate on this video is the horses are sinking into the ground a little bit. It was quite tiring ground, like the horses sort of sunk in a little bit, and they sort of had to jump a couple inches higher than what they would on firm ground. And same with the cross country. I felt like to go fast in the cross country was quite a lot more effort for for Greg. So in the cross country, we ended up having 4 time penalties, which is not too bad considering how sort of muddy it is. You can see this is early on in the course, is about fence 5, and the ground was quite sticky and deep. And to Greg's credit, he kept pushing on through the whole course. So we were 10 seconds over the time. I felt like I was sort of riding him at a speed that he was comfortable at. I worry if I pushed him faster or made him go faster than what he went, he'd sort of was in a, sort of running him off his feet a little bit. So great thing with Greg, he's quite light in the mouth, and he's sort of the jumps sort of back him off a little bit. So
right. Thank you.
The hard part with his big open canter stride is you can't change him too much just before you take off, if that makes any sense. So when I'm coming to the jump, I feel like I've got to try and measure the jump a fair bit away so that I'm sort of jumping with the last stride. I'm not sort of fixing him up anymore. The worst jumps are when you decide right at the end that you're going to steady him up for a stride or two, and changing him to a bit of a holding deep distance on a wide jump he finds quite difficult, just because he jumps up quite wide, jumps up quite high. So if you slow down and add one at the end, it's sort of, he needs a bit of that forward power push to get across the fence. Anyway, team, I'm looking forward to all seeing you when you come visit the farm and get to see Greg and Mickey and Dallas and Barley, etc., etc. Anyway, it was good to get a good result on Greg. We finished in 3rd place, just a couple time penalties in the cross country, but he gave me a nice sort of forward positive round. Anyway, guys, looking forward to catching up, and I was very, very pleased with Greg's performance.